Welcome back once again, everyone. As this is part three, I still can't say the number three correct, but this is part three of What If Deku Was a Saiyan. I just recorded part two literally just right before this went, and I'm recording these in the same day, but I won't keep you guys waiting any longer. So without any further ado, I'm your host Jeremiah. And yes, I'm going to keep changing them every time, but I'm just going to let y'all get into it. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Go, 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 yeah, go.
No, I saw that my value for my opening was off. I'm not going to fix it. So you guys know, if you were watching part three, you probably know where the last part left off, and Deku just finished his actual entrance exam, and they did the test so Isaiah could get a proper hold of their powers, and he knows what he's working with, taking in, and he took a certain initiative in Midoriya, thinking he's pretty powerful, but he had a long way to go before he could properly control his powers. Now, this is the day they finally get their hero costumes, and they're actually going to have real combat training, since they never actually used their quirks against people before. And the first match to truly go up was Team A and B, which is Uraraka and Deku versus Bakugo and Ida. Now, currently, with Deku hero costume change, I'm going to say no. He's still a fanboy over All Might, and the fact that he's even All Might's successor, he had no intention in changing his hero suit simply because of the fact his mother also made it. Kind of like Superman. Oh, that's cute. Cute. Superman mother made his first costume, and Deku mom made his first costume. Oh, that is amazing. So no, Deku hero costume would change. But sadly, as soon as Deku goes to activate his quirk, as soon as the exam goes off, this costume isn't quite as durable as he would have hoped, and it cannot handle its power, and it kind of look like the support course is going to have a work on this a bit later. I think they're going to be angry as they actually go, and just the same as a cannon, goes right for Midoriya, but this fight goes a bit different as Deku power up to about 15%, not wanting to go all out just in case he can wreck the surrounding area, and he begins to actually go head to head with Bakugo. At the same time, Midoriya has also been reading Bakugo's skill set ever since they was kids. He knows every time that Bakugo gets into a fight, he throws a punch and an explosion with his right hand first, and Deku using his knowledge to his advantage. He flips Bakugo. He's able to flip Bakugo and lay him out on his back as Midoriya goes to surround him. Bakugo explodes the floor, and the shockwave from it is actually able to push Midoriya back. As Bakugo then goes for the side back kick, and doing something Midoriya never thought was actually possible. He's let off an explosion from his foot as Midoriya never knew he could do that. But since Bakugo has been training a lot harder to attempt to keep up with Midoriya, since Midoriya have always been physically stronger, Bakugo have actually been training a lot more. And he's giving back a decent run for his money. And Speck is getting a bit annoyed that his suit is actually broken. As Bakugo finally lets off the explosion in shade as All Might tries to tell it to stop. But Bakugo says Midoriya would be perfectly fine as long as he dodges. As Midoriya goes up to full count 25% to tank the explosion, as he goes on his back, and he punches it, sending the explosion a bit outwards, being able to channel it, moving fast enough to channel it through a window. And Deku's actually able to save UA a bit of money. And somehow, he's able to make the collateral damage that would have been from that huge explosion off. And Bakugo is shocked because he had no idea Midoriya could even do that. And he sees Midoriya rushing towards him as he sees something weird, a bit odd. Bakugo notices these black whips surrounding Midoriya as Bakugo's like absolutely not. As he takes off his upper shirt and he begins letting off explosions, not using his second gauntlet everywhere, as Midoriya is forced to actually go up and use his full power rush more. As Midoriya is going to have to try to strategize, and he lets off Black Whip, and these huge blackish green tentacles appearing out of everywhere, attempting to capture Bakugo. But with Bakugo being pretty decently smart, and Deku not having full control over them, he is able to somehow avoid and dodge a lot of them until eventually one is caught on his leg. Bakugo not having any other choice, he lets off his second explosion, but he hears Midoriya yell out now as Midoriya goes using the explosion force, creating a huge shockwave, and it goes up several stories, giving Uraraka the exact kill she needed to grab a support beam and smacking the rubble towards Ida, leading to her eventually being able to grab the bomb and Bakugo being captured. As All Might yells out that hero teams win, he eventually goes up to Bakugo and tells him not to worry, but this time, Bakugo, since it's always been the case, he vows never to lose again, and he decides to keep training even harder than he was before. Eventually leading to the second team-up match. And, of course, for whatever injuries they had, they go to Recovery Girl. She heals them right up. And the second matchup is actually the same as in canon. And having the same fleet of power, and this time Midoriya being with them, him not being able to change out of his suit yet. He notices that Todoroki freezes over the entire building, and Todoroki tells his competitors, "Hey, not to worry about it that much. My quirk isn't really, your course isn't really designed to, fight someone like me. So you shouldn't hold yourself. It's not your fault. You just had a bad matchup." As of course they're a bit annoyed, and after all the students that done, it's pretty decent, and All Might finally runs away as All Might is annoyed that he can barely hold his farm for 2 hours and 30 minutes to teach a simple class, as he thinks he might have to retire a bit earlier than planned. He thinks hopefully he can last at least 3 more years to prepare Midoriya to become a new symbol of peace. As he eventually settles down, A few days go by, a day or so go by, and Azawa tells them it's time for them to pick a proper class up. And Ida tells them the best way to do this is to be democratically and everyone to just cast votes. And of course, the same as in canon, Deku and Momo gets elected. As he's a bit as Bakugo is a bit annoyed because he wanted to be cashed up, since this is actually a huge advantage for them. I mean, in real life, it would just be more worthless work. But this time, hold on, Clyde. I remember this time when I was in fifth grade. I made this huge project if I wanted to be class representative. My billboard was actually amazingly well, and it was super fun. But guess what? I got 0 votes because no one liked me. Yeah, it's stupid. I hate voting. I would be a dictator. I literally hate voting. It was stupid. I got 0. Nobody voted for me, and it was annoying. And it was stupid. I wanted to be class top. Moving on. But somehow, as they're all eating lunch, and Ida actually explains where he come from, something weird happens. The alarm go off and it's level 3, and apparently the villain was able to somehow break into the school. But they notice that, oh no, it's just a reporter. So in order to calm everyone down, Midoriya flies up in the air, him still needing one for all to fly efficiently. He flies up into the air and he tells everybody that they all have to calm down and it's only reporters. As he looks over, and for some reason that buzzing noise is back, and he sees some guy teleporting away, and the gate is somehow rebels. As he keeps this in the back of his mind, as eventually where everyone calms down, the students eventually goes back to class and everything goes normal as the teachers are outside thinking about who was possibly powerful enough to do this. They don't know if it's a declaration of war or was it just faulty wiring. But this, for whatever reason, this felt like a attack, but they don't know why. But that's all I have for you guys today. I really do hope you all enjoyed. Peace out. And remember, come back for that time. It's still going to be entertaining and fun.